Can we please stop pretending like the reason you don't approach women is because you're scared you'll be accused of sexual harassment? That's not going to happen. You know that's not going to happen. If you approach anybody with kindness and respect, the worst they can say is no.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at women wondering where all of the good men have gone. Don't forget to drop a comment, make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and let's jump right into it.
Here's another example of why women are the fucking problem sometimes. So women are like, when we go to the gym, the men stare at us. The men stare at us. We don't want you to stare at us. I just watched a video of a woman doing calisthenics and nothing but a crop top and skin-tight booty shorts. And there was 3 men around her, and the entire minute video, none of them looked at her. They didn't give a single fuck what she was doing, okay? And so I noticed it naturally, right?
It seems like any space a modern woman invades, she just destroys, especially over time if it's too large. That's why men are just working out at home. You know, a lot of guys can't go to the gyms without being concerned that they're going to be on some stupid TikTok video where he's being shamed for looking at a woman that he didn't look at.
Right? And so I went to the comments, and every fucking female in that comment section is like, but no one looked? Oh, so now you want them in to stare at you at the gym? That's a little hypocritical. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? No, it doesn't. How about you just go to the gym and everyone there is minding their own fucking business? Like, if people stare, people stare. If they don't, like, whatever, big fucking whoop. People are there to fight their own demons. They're not there to, like, oh my God.
If you want to see empowered victimhood, you need not look any further than fitness influencers.
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
It's not a quote-unquote war that we are fighting within ourselves. Men just want to keep their peace. It's really simple. A lot of these women or these people talking about this just tend to overcomplicate it. Men go where they find peace. It's that simple.
Wonder why high-value men are not approaching you? It's not because they don't exist. It's because women scared them all away. All I see on social media is men being canceled and scrutinized just for being men. We have literally embarrassed, belittled, and threatened men just for trying to approach us women. I understand there are some horror stories out there, but women can be just as guilty. All the high-value men are doing the same thing us women do on a daily basis.
You can't insult men for literally decades and then expect men to stick around and wife you up after you spent decades doing that. It makes such little sense, and it is so insulting to expect men to come and wife you up anyway.
Like, go to the gym, go to work, get coffee, go to the grocery store. The problem is that women have become so cold and out of touch with our feminine energy that men are literally horrified of being that guy or getting canceled and trashed on. Most of them have just completely backed off because we women have been screaming at them not to come talk to us. We have to take accountability for our action and behavior as women and stop making men look like monsters and start embodying our feminine energy to be more warm and inviting for the right man to swoop you off your feet.
Men were not scared off, okay? All of this talk about intimidation or men being scared is completely ridiculous. Men just walked away from it all. There just wasn't enough for men actually to, it wasn't worth men sticking around. We'll put it that way.
Can we please stop pretending like the reason you don't approach women is because you're scared you'll be accused of sexual harassment? That's not going to happen. You know that's not going to happen. If you approach anybody with kindness and respect, the worst they can say is no. The reason you don't want to approach women is because you're a sissy. And that's the fundamental issue. Stop trying to make it some other situation that has to do with society and culture and feminism, dude. No. Go say hi to a girl. Be nice about it. Whatever. Learn to get a little bit of zhuzh.
Calling men sissies for not approaching is not exactly a great motivator for approaching. I don't know what the method is here, what these people are trying to do, but if you try and shame or insult men into approaching you, this is not going to work. You're not going to be able to coerce a behavior out of men by punishing them. It makes no sense.
I don't want to use the word Riz. I'm doing everything to avoid using that word. You have to get better at socializing and talking to strangers if it is your goal to obtain a girlfriend via cold open. Now, you can also just hang out with mutual friends, dude. It doesn't have to be like some you don't have to watch a pickup artist and figure out how to do it. Be that guy that's always making small talk with people in a line. Be that person. You can become that person if you would like to interact with women more. Stop pretending it's like culture or something, dude. The reason you don't want to talk to women in public is because you're a sissy and you're nervous and you spend too much time on your phone. We'll talk to other people all the time. Strangers talk to people all the time. Ever met one of those social people that just starts making a friend everywhere they go? Be that guy if you want to be that guy.
She's acting like men are just socially inept, which is just another massive insult that proves why men were justified in walking away in the first place.
Question for the men. Why is it that men no longer really approach women in public? Because I feel like back in the 90s, early 2000s, you'd see it so frequently that men are walking up to women, having a little conversation, a little banter, a little flirt, and maybe even ask them out if things are going well. But I don't ever see that anymore. What's going on? Like, what happened? Can you guys let me know in the comments, please?
It's not some hidden secret that men are safeguarding, okay? Men have been quite vocal about this. You can have a regular discussion with any dude about this and he will tell you. It's rather obvious at this point.
This is one of the worst problems that we're facing right now in society, because this kind of smear campaign, character assassination, is the reason that young men are not seeking out young women, will not talk to young women, and it's the reason that young women say there are no men worth talking to or marrying out there. There is a breakdown, not just of marriage, but of relationships in younger generations, and it's based on fear. And that stems from a lot of the false Me Too. It didn't get worse because rape went up. Rape has gone down, just to be clear. Sexual assault has gone down. False accusations have gone up, and so men are saying it's not worth the risk. And then women are saying, where am I going to find a man with, a 7-figure income who's 6'2", and is willing to, give me everything that I want? Well, he doesn't want to be falsely accused of rape.
False accusations are catastrophic for men, okay? Let's not joke about this. It is enough of a reason, in my opinion, to be done with dating. Like, if you're a dude and you catch one false accusation, that can ruin your job, that can ruin your life, that can ruin an area that you go. So if you go to the gym, for example, you might be socially ostracized from the gym. Like, false accusations, even if they're proven wrong, by the way, are a very, very big risk for men.
Top 3 reasons why this type of guy cuts women off. Cold-blooded, no mercy. Y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number 1, senses that a woman doesn't seem to be authentic. Something about her just doesn't sit right with his spirit. And therefore, that feeling makes him question his ability to trust her. Remember, men are logical, so she could be the baddest thing on 2 feet. If he can't trust that she's authentic, she gotta go.
I have to say, the word authentic is one of many words that have no definition to many modern women.
Number 2, compromising his peace. This type of guy don't play about his peace. If you causing stress, emotional neediness, desiring constant validation, creating unnecessary drama and turbulence, life is already hard, beloved. If you just have an overwhelmingly negative energy, gotta go.
A man's peace is quite literally all he has oftentimes in this world. He's not giving it away for a chaotic woman.
Number 3, the disrespect or the lack of mutual respect, the microaggression, the dismissiveness or belittling him, shaming him. This signals a lack of appreciation and a lack of respect. So yeah, you gotta go.
Social media has unfortunately showed the true colors of women these days, and that disrespect comes with absolute consequences, especially from men.
My friend of 4 years just ended our friendship over a man.
I'm going to spare you the details and give you a quick summary of that bullshit-ass story. So essentially, the friend established a boundary. She crossed that boundary. While crossing that boundary that the friend established regarding her happy and healthy marriage, she was planting seeds of doubt between her and her husband, saying that her husband is not doing enough, the husband is just doing the bare minimum, when the friend is very happy with what the husband is doing.
In other words, she was jealous of their relationship and she just wanted to sabotage the thing. I mean, how many times have we seen this? You can literally go ask women and they will tell you how often other women try and sabotage their relationships. It's actually insane.
On top of that, she's pocket watching the friend's husband. So that's a massive red flag in itself too. From a woman's perspective, she wanted her friend's husband. Her video is a perfect example of setting psychological traps psychological manipulation as well as subtle psychological warfare that women play on each other in order to attain someone or something that they desire. I've said this time and time again.
I would say it takes a disturbing lack of humanity to want to destroy someone else's marriage on purpose.
The emotional manipulation and the gaslighting that women do to each other in order to form bond and closeness, to turn around and stab them and betray them at the deepest level, at the deepest core of a person's psyche and mental. That's a perfect example. We just watched the beginning stages of that. I've said this time and time again. Marketers know this. Advertisers know this. Sellers know this. Business owners whose core customer base are women know this. Women want what other women have.
The internet has put the backstabbing and manipulation into overdrive in a very sick way. It has allowed modern day women to just do this stuff endlessly to each other.
Men will also tell you that a man is more desirable when he is unavailable. The more unavailable a man is, the more he loves on his woman, the more desirable he is to another woman. Said this time and time again. This is also the beginning stages of psychological violence. I love it when women are up in my comment section when they're like, no, men are way more violent than women. No, women are way more violent than men. Men utilize brute force. Women utilize gaslighting, narcissism, psychological manipulation, as well as the physical and emotional isolation that they do in a social setting.
If we use their logic, okay, that words are equivalent or equal to violence, if that's the case, then wouldn't that make them the violent ones?
The social violence that women inflict on each other is way more damaging, and it cuts deeper to the core than physical violence that men inflict. Oh, let's add on top of that how women will enlist in the brute force violence of men in order to drive a point home. Y'all not ready for the stories of how women will get a chick drunk that she does not like, or will drug a chick only for a male in her close proximity to assault her.
What makes it worse is that every time they do something like that, they feel justified when they do it.
The easiest way to sex traffic a young girl or a woman is by utilizing another woman, because women utilize psychology and emotional connection and vulnerability to disarm a woman in order to gain her trust. Women are 10 times more violent than men. On top of utilizing vulnerability and trauma bonding in order to lower a woman's guard, most of the time women will sit there and try to love bomb on another woman to speed up the entire process.
We see this kind of stuff with women on TikTok who react to other women's videos.
It's not the same love bombing in a intimate relationship. There's a platonic version of love bombing. I will end it with this. In order to protect yourself against women like that, you have to establish very hard and firm boundaries. Having standards in regards to what do you deem as someone who's an acquaintance, someone who is a friend, and someone who is in your deep inner circle.
If a person ever takes offense to reasonable boundaries, they are just not worth knowing at all.
A lot of times women will skip the acquaintance stage of a relationship and jump straight into the deep inner circle in such a short amount of time by utilizing trauma, by utilizing some type of emotional vulnerability to disarm you. You have to be very cognizant of that. Set very firm boundaries. The moment you tell a woman no, the moment she crosses a boundary, that is an obvious red flag that she is up to no good.
Modern women have quite literally made it their business to wave their red flags as high as possible, and if you don't accept the red flags that they're putting forward, they will call you things like insecure. They'll say that you're just scared or intimidated. Like, they're completely a lost cause at this point.
Women are master manipulators and gaslighters. They're very good at it. They do it all the time on social media. You have to keep your head on a swivel and remain very vigilant. But you're going to have to get burned a couple of times to recognize what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, they're very good. Like I said, I can play the game. It's very easy because you learn as a child. You just get better at it as an adult to the point where women don't recognize it when it's done to another woman.
The only way to beat the game for a lot of guys is simply to not bother playing at all. It's the only way for a lot of them to be sure, and so guys just want to protect their peace and they figure, you know what, I'm going to opt out.
Why do we see so many women causing frustration in their relationship when they start dating a man based on a wound that someone else did, not the man in front of them?
Because we've created a generation of narcissistic women. The rise of social media and the rise of online dating and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. If you want to be a sex worker, it's great. If you want to post in bikini pictures online, it's fine. Every poor choice is glamorized and every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself.
And those very same narcissistic women will claim that men are the real narcissists, by the way.
So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. They are trained to not reflect on themselves because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I.
I think that blaming the man for everything is probably a great way to guarantee a full lifetime of being single.
Why is it that so many women, once bold and independent in their 20s, are now full of regret and tears in their 30s and 40s? Why does independence taste bitter when you're eating it alone at an empty dinner table? Well, today, I'm giving you 7 raw, unfiltered reasons why so many women are aging alone and they're bitter about it. No pandering, no caping, just the truth they don't want to hear, but desperately need to.
Independence was sold as a free and easy life, but there is nothing easy about independence. This is something that many women find out as they get older, and of course they want a man to swoop in to save them and pay their bills for them.
Reason number 1, rejection of femininity. Too many women strip themselves of gentleness and humility for aggression and ego. They were told femininity was weakness, so they became masculine carbon copies of men. But now that the years have passed, they're realizing the truth. Men don't marry competitors, they marry complementers. Modern culture sold women a lie. Be strong, be independent, and he'll still love you. But the reality, most men don't want a second man in the house. They want a helpmate, not a rival.
It is insane to me how many modern women insisted on becoming masculine and they thought that it was like some kind of flex. A lot of them even think that it's going to help them get men, which is completely ridiculous.
Reason number 2, independence became a religion. Society told women, you don't need a man. And now life is proving them right, but painfully so. They did everything solo, made their own money, paid their own bills, climbed the ladder, and now they're also crying alone, eating alone, and sleeping alone. Independence is not a replacement for intimacy. And now they're realizing, I can do bad all by myself. It's not a goal. It's a curse.
I think it's frightening how quickly modern women bought into the idea of not needing a man at all. This is exactly why it was so, pernicious, I guess would be the word, is because women really wanted to buy into this crap, and then they realized too late that, things are going to be very messed up for them without actually having a man.
Reason number 3, men are tired of being used, then blamed. Many good men got burned early. They gave love, provision, leadership, and got disrespected in return. Now those same men have wised up. They're not chasing anymore. They're not playing Captain Save-A-Ho. They're prioritizing peace over pretty. Women who once said, I don't need you, are now crying, where have all the good men gone? And the answer? We're still here. We just don't want you anymore. Y'all are so unfit for relationships. Y'all won't even tell your sons to date women with your resumes. And that is a damn shame.
The second men said they were done with being used, a lot of modern women just completely lost their minds. They went straight to shaming, they went straight to, insults and stuff like that. But of course, that doesn't work at all.
Reason number 4, a woman's desire to date up in status, income, and influence leaves her with fewer viable options the older she gets. Let's be real. Men at the top has access to the best. And if a woman's attitude is nasty, if her peace is absent, if her femininity is gone, why in the hell would he pick her? Men have options too, and they're choosing younger, softer, sweeter women who bring peace, not power struggles. And the icing on the cake? More and more men each year are becoming high earners in their 30s. and enjoying the single life, traveling the world, and they're not looking back.
The thing that they will never understand is that the men that they want have options, okay? And these women will never actually get picked.
Reason number 5, delusional dating standards. Too many women held on to fantasy over reality, waiting for a 6'4" millionaire, emotionally intelligent, faithful, ripped, gentle but aggressive, romantic but tough unicorn man, while bringing nothing but attitude, student loan debt, and entitlement to the table. As time passed, their value dried up, but their standards didn't. Now they sitting in bitterness, refusing to compromise, not realizing they're no longer in their prime. They're in denial. The crazy thing is, you could have kept the men who held his value longer than you. You just didn't know how to keep him happy. You failed to stay in your lane while he led. And most of y'all let yourselves go while thinking the grass was greener on the other side. And when you found out it wasn't, you started looking at younger women who looked like they were winning. You saw their bodies, the hips and the thighs, and you thought to yourself, I got enough money. I'll just go to Dr. Miami and lay down under the blade. And when he started chopping you up, the pookie started knocking you up. And that's when you realize that even if you gift wrap shit, it doesn't take away the stink. So now you're crying with your BBL and your donut lips. And guess what? Just because somebody pulling up after 9 to pipe you, don't mean they're there to wife you. So, at this point, you can do like the rest of these bitter women. Take your ass and your tears to the churches. They'll make sure you hear what you want to hear so you can continue to enjoy your delusion.
The delusion and entitlement of a lot of these modern women is just going to be their downfall. It is quite literally too late for them, unfortunately. Make sure you click on one of the videos on screen now to watch more if you liked today's video. Don't forget to take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.